Time now for the voice of the land on the Big Play Network with your hosts, Kevin Arnold and Always Positive Jay.
Now, Chris, are you doing or able to announce or able to say anything about doing Browns games again in preseason this year?
Well, yeah, I'm hopeful certainly to be doing it. I mean, I've got a really good relationship with the Browns. The fact that hopefully they want me back is a good sign. I thought we had a really, really fun broadcast team last year. Part of that based on the fact that I'd worked with Joe for several years, had covered him before that, had worked with Aditi for the better part of a decade at NFL Network, had been friendly with her as well. So it's not like you're shaking hands with somebody for the first time being like, hi, how are you? And where are you from? So we know, families, we know backstories, we know all that sort of stuff. So I am hopeful to be returning this year. And I loved doing the games last year. It had been about a decade since I'd called an NFL game because I've been in studio for most of that time on Sundays. And very thankful that the Browns gave me an opportunity, to live out a dream and getting to call your favorite team's games. Doesn't suck.
Yeah, we enjoyed it. Just a little bit, but
yes, thanks.
Man, I was going to rank you of all the top people who have called games, but I won't do that anymore.
Well, it depends. You had to have seen them or heard them in order to rank them, right?
Oh, it was all people I heard.
Through with that theme.
I'm not sure you would have liked where I ranked you. I don't know.
Oh, hey, at least if I'm 11th in the top 10, that's good enough for me. But here's the thing I always say is that in this business, some people are going to say, oh, you do a great job. And some people are going to say, dude, you suck. I've done that for years, too. I mean, when I broadcast my first Browns game in 1984, I was 13 years old. We had an old VCR. People can look up what that is. My brother and I plugged the microphone in. We did the Browns-Chiefs game. I think we lost 10-6. I think Paul McDonald got sacked like 11 times that day. Juriel Harris dropped what would have been a go-ahead touchdown in the second half. And I remember just saying, God, these guys who are calling the games, they suck at it. And then years later, you get paid to do it, and then you're the guy who sucks. So it's perfectly fine. It's acceptable. That's how it rolls.
As I've been trying to get in this business, people that have been in it much longer than I have told me sometimes you feel like you're really getting yourself involved in the industry more when people don't like what you're doing, more so when they like what you're doing. So, take that. I always take that with a grain of salt, but a lot of people believe in that. When you get more of the negative comments, you're actually doing a much better job than you think. So. Now, real quick, before we do touch on the Guardians, we just touched on the Browns, just real quick, your thoughts on perspectives for this season. We always have that hope here in Cleveland going in. We always see a great off season, but how can it actually translate to on-field success? What is going to be that key this year for this Browns team?
It's simple. I mean, if Deshaun Watson doesn't return to form, then they don't have a great shot. I've never, ever seen a conference like the AFC is this year. I just cannot believe how deep it is. You could make an argument for 7 or 8 teams that if they stay healthy and their quarterback plays well, that could legitimately be playing in the Super Bowl. And I don't think it's a stretch, right? You could see Kansas City and Buffalo. You could see the Bengals. I believe that the Ravens are one of those teams. I also believe that the Browns, if things break right for them, can be in there. Some people really like Jacksonville. They're definitely pointing in the right direction. I think they're kind of on the outside. I think the Chargers are really close there. But that's a lot of teams, right? I didn't even include Miami, who was playing really well before the Tua stuff kind of went sideways with them. So that's the thing, is that the Browns could have a really good team and a solid season and not make the playoffs. And I know that's not acceptable based on kind of where they've been the last few years. It would feel like a bit of a regression, but there's a lot of talent. And so I just think that things are so razor thin as far as the margins go. In the year we made the playoffs in 1-score games, we did great. Then in one-score games the last couple of years, it hadn't been great. And that's the difference. You're talking about a couple plays a game. So hopefully Jim Schwartz will make a huge difference on defense. I do like what they've done with the defensive line, which I thought was the sorest spot on the team last year.